Well, hello, my name is Jamie, and this class is for hopefully releasing any kind of tension and pressure in the low back and hips, and also using the sensory awareness technique and style that oftentimes the teachers will say, put your blanket over your mat, and that'll mean that you're going to be on your back for a little while, maybe side, belly, and slide and glide into positions that you can also do standing or sitting. So it's a way of moving your body that's out of gravity and also very therapeutic because you can move it to pump your lymphatic system, get extra blood flow, work into the central nervous system. So finding all these ways to move our bodies that are actually achievable and possible when we have limitations. So that's what this is hopefully going to help you with. First thing I'd like to do is to show you what it is to put your blanket over your mat. A lot of times a teacher will say that if you're unfamiliar with that. The yoga blankets are usually folded in half already. And what you'll do is keep it folded in half and then place it all the way down the length of your mat so that you've got your whole mat covered up with your blanket. So if you're familiar with this, that's great. But it's also, sometimes it's these, things that we take for granted that seem like, so, this is what we're going to do. This is it for putting your blanket over your mat. And then today's class, you'll need a strap and also either a second blanket or a small pillow for your head, just a little head prop. Before you come to lie on your back, I would like to demo a few of the movements that are done often in the classes and that will be done during this class. And I'd like you to watch me do them before you lie on your back and start to rest, because if you can, try not to lift your head during the time that we're practicing. What you want to do is to have your body stay supine on your back or belly or side without that quick lifting of the head, because that'll disturb your central nervous system. So just trying to keep things mellow and calm. So stay seated and watch first. And hopefully these movements will seem a little more familiar when I cue them during the class. So first thing is, when you're on your back, to lie down with your legs long. That just means let your legs go out long on your mat without bending your knees. If you need to bend your knees or prop, that's when you automatically do it for yourself. If you know you need something like that. You might find out into the class that you need it, but right now we'll start with legs long, hip width distance, and then arms down by your sides. So usually the teacher will tell you either palms up or down. Then if they mention bend your knees, that's just to bend your knees so your feet are on the mat and then your knees are facing up towards the sky. So this is just knees bent position. And then there's positions that we do for the arms. So if I mention a goalpost position for the arms, that's just having your elbows go in line with the shoulders and the hands are palms up, fingers down so that you're on your back still and the back of your arms are on the mat. And then when we mention slide, and when I mention in this class, slide that arm, I'll say slide your right arm. What I mean is not to lift it up, it's just to try and let it stay on your mat. That's what the blanket's for, to let it actually slide. And then maybe your range is all the way overhead, possibly not, and find out where your range is when you're sliding. So this is the sliding and gliding that we talk about with the arms. They would be just sliding up towards headward end of your mat and back to wherever. T-shaped arms, palms will be up, straight out to the sides. And then with your legs out long, when I mention hip slides, what that will be are, I like to also call them froggy slides, because your knee doesn't lift up if you can help it. It goes out to the side and then you slide it up, let your foot follow along, and then it'll slide back down. So this is the first slide. You just keep the knee down. As you slide it up and down, you'll find out which hip is tighter. And then there's also times when we take the knee across. So we'll be doing some movements of a twist where you actually have one knee bent, one leg straight, and then you drop the knee across. So that would be the knees crossing position. So that's about enough for the demo for now, for today, because there will be more of these classes to come. And now I invite you to go ahead, have your strap close by, but come to lie on your back. And as you do, get yourself comfortable. And then start to notice how you're feeling today. Take note of what time of day it is. And let that, help you figure out, how am I feeling right now? Not just today, but how am I feeling right now? How does my body feel on this blanket mat combo setup? So letting you notice physically how your body is. Try not to let the distractions of what wants your attention outside of the realm of your physical body, try not to let those take you away from this practice. Just devote this hour to this practice of feeling your body. Especially when we start moving, really feel what happens. And then feel how your breath affects your body. So take a nice full inhale, really feel the lungs fill up, and then slowly exhale and feel the muscles relax as you exhale. So do this a few more times and breathe slowly. And another challenge to this kind of practice, and then it can be a challenge. It doesn't necessarily, I don't think it's a challenge. I enjoy it so much, but it's that slowing down and trying to feel yourself move with your breath and try to breathe slower. So I will be cueing that when we go. Take another full breath. And let your body again totally release. So now take your arms into that goalpost shape. So they'll be out to your sides with the elbows bent. And the palms are facing up. And then legs are long. So the first thing when you inhale, pull your right toes towards you and reach your right heel away from you. So you feel the right leg. And now slowly exhale and release the activation. Then do the left. So when you inhale, reach out through your left heel, pull your left toes towards you. And then exhale nice and slow, let the muscles release. And then go back to your right side. So as you're doing your right side, just feel anything new and let your breath, again, really go slow. And especially when you exhale, try to make it go as slow as your inhale. Good. And then let the legs relax. Just kind of see how they feel and how your feet fall. Let your legs stay relaxed. And then when you take your next inhale, you're going to slide your right arm, gonna slide it on the floor so that your right fingers are reaching towards the top of your mat. You might go past it. And then when you exhale, pull that arm right back to where it started from. And then go to the other side. So inhale, let your left arm reach. Exhale, let that left arm go back to the starting point. Nice and slow. Go again to the right. Super slow as you inhale and reach. Exhale. And trust that you're doing it right so that you don't try to lift your head. That's a challenge too. I know I find myself thinking, this isn't all that there is to it, is it? But we add on as we go. So now just pause after you finish your next one. And then we're going to get long on the side body. So when you take your next inhale, let your right arm reach long, let your right leg reach long. So same side arm, same side heel, lengthen. And then when you exhale, let the muscles relax and bring everything back to the starting point. And then go to the other side. So when you inhale, the opposite arm's gonna reach, it just slides on the floor, and then the opposite heel lengthens away. So you've got the left side getting long. Exhale, slow motion, bringing it back. Go again to the right side. Inhale and lengthen. Exhale and soften. And then go again to the left side. And try not to push it or force it. Don't try to see how far, how fast. It's all about slow and controlled. So keep your control within the range of your motion. So now you're going to come back to the center. And now you've got your arms and your legs. You're just like right in the center. You're going to inhale, reach your left heel, and then extend your right arm. So you're on a diagonal. Left heel lengthens, right arm lengthens. Feel the diagonal on through the middle of your body. Exhale, releases the left heel and the right arm. Other side, inhaling, lengthen the right heel and leg, and then start to stretch your left arm. Stays on the floor, lengthen on the diagonal. So feel the length on the diagonal, like you've got an X shape in your midsection. Do this one more time. So when you inhale, reach your left heel, reach your right arm. Nice long diagonal pattern. Exhale, release. And then again, inhale, left arm reaches, right heel lengthens. Ooh, yeah, exhale and release. Good. And then let your arms go down by your sides and feel anything that's changed in your midsection, in your legs, in your pelvis. Feel any little tingles. Good. So now you can keep your arms down by your sides. Let your left leg be relaxed and take your right foot just a little bit off to the right side. So your right leg is just a little off towards the right corner of your mat. And then just turn your right foot out a little bit more. And then when you take an inhale, lift your right foot up off the floor only a few inches, and then don't let it go down yet. Keep breathing, nice shallow breath, but hover your foot off the floor without lifting your left hip off. So you want to keep your left hip down And then you can lower that right foot down. So you should feel it right in your inner right thigh. This is a psoas stretch, good for the pelvis. Do it again on the right side. So again, right foot's a little off to the side, foot's turned out. And then when you inhale, lift that whole heel and foot off the floor, only about 3 inches, hover. And then think left glute presses into the blanket as your right heel is reaching a little bit. Try to hover it a bit more, and then go ahead and let that leg go all the way down, and then release. So let that right leg go back into this line with your hip, and let your left leg go off to the side. And then your left foot's going to turn out. Same thing, side 2. It'll probably feel completely different, possibly. Take an inhale, lift your left foot off the floor about 3 or 4 inches. Try not to lift your right glute. See if you can feel it in your inner left thigh. Try not to lift it too high. You might have to take a peek at what it's doing. And then go ahead and lower it down. And now again, use an inhale, lift it up. See if you can try not to squeeze your glute too much. Let the foot turn out enough that you feel that innermost area of the right or left inner thigh. And now let that left leg go all the way down. You can shake your knees out a little bit. Let your arms go into a soft O-shaped pattern. So goes from that stricter T goalpost shape into a soft bend of your elbows. Keep your right leg straight. Bend your left knee. Place your left foot behind your right leg. So your left knee's pointing straight up. And then we'll take it into an unwinding move, this is called. So when you inhale, press your left foot down into your blanket and start to drop your left thigh and leg over the right thigh. So it's a twist. The inhale moves you across the thigh, and then the exhale is going to lift that leg back to your starting point. So once you get back to your starting point, you'll use an inhale again, same thing. Just lift the left hip, let that left thigh cross over the right, and then exhale it back down. Go about that slow. So if you're going and doing like 3 of them to my 1, try to slow it down so you feel it go across. And then you can squeeze your left glute, lift it up a little higher and reach that left thigh. Exhale, bring it back down. Do that again so that you're trying to reach your left knee towards your right foot, but keep pressing your left foot into the blanket, and then let that left leg go back to starting point. Keep your right arm where it's at. Keep your right leg long. Let your left arm go down by your left heel. So your left arm goes from being up down by your side. So your left arm is down by your left heel. And then we're going to do pretty much the same thing, just that left arm is down and your gaze is going to go towards your left. So when you inhale, turn your head to your left, drop that left knee over your right thigh, lengthen it out. And then when you exhale, bring that left knee back up and your left thigh, your left knee goes back to starting point. Again, inhale, left arm's down. That's really the only difference, except you're stretching a little more into the inner left thigh with that left hand reaching towards your left heel. Exhale it back down, nice and slow. Feel your glute come back down. And do one more as you Inhale, take it over. Exhale, bringing it back. Let your arms go back into that soft O-shaped pattern and let your left leg go straight right in line with your right leg. And then take a moment to feel any difference between your right and left side. Okay. So now, keep your left leg straight, bend your right knee, and then you'll take your arms into that goalpost shape again. As we start on side 2. So just keep your arms in that goalpost shape or soft O shape. Palms are up. And then start by feeling your right foot on the blanket. So when you inhale, you're going to press your right foot down, take your right thigh across your left thigh this time. And then that's your inhale. And then when you exhale, nice and slow, let that right knee go back up. So don't go full force right out of the gate. Kind of scope it out. Inhale, take it over. Exhale, let it come back. And take it just a little different each time. See if you can find something new as you drop it across. Reach your knee a little more by squeezing your right glutes a little more. It'll lift you a bit higher, but stretch out more into your back. One more like this. And come back down. And then go ahead and let your right hand go down by your heel. So your right hand's down by your right heel, and your left arm is staying where it was. So when you inhale, you'll look towards your right, drop that right thigh across. Does the same thing, except your right hand is reaching towards your right foot. And then the exhale lets that right knee come back up to its starting point. And then keep going. So see if you notice any little clicks or clacks, any little extra tingles or pops. Hopefully they're sweet pops. But this work and this movement pattern brings a lot of depth into the tissues as you move slow with the breath and pump that blood. Nice. And then come back to center. Let your legs go out long. Let your arms go down by your sides. Just take a moment to feel both sides after you've done both sides. See if you feel the midline of your torso. So right from the middle of your nose all the way down the center line to where your tailbone ends. Just feel everything come right back into the midline. All right. So now we're going to take our strap and make a little loop in your strap. So you've just got a tail and a little loop. If you don't have a loop, that's all right. You can work with just a little bend, but you're going to start by bending your right knee, lift it up, and then place your right foot into the loop. So as that right foot is in the loop, you're going to want to reach your right leg straight and try to have your right arm and your left arm, actually just your right arm, have that up straight, holding close to the foot. And then your left arm's going to be out to the side with your palm up. So you're reaching up through your right heel. And now activate your left leg as well. So pull the toes back on your left foot, reach out through your left heel as you reach out through that right leg. So both legs are active. Try not to turn your foot in or out on either leg, on both legs. Try to have both feet in line with the ankles. Squeeze both glutes, just feeling like your pelvis coming into alignment, like it's right in line with the center of your mat. Good. So now bend your left knee just a little bit. You're going to let your left arm go overhead, and then you're going to start to roll onto your left side. So you can prop your head with your hand or use your blankets. But you want to let that top arm be underneath your ear if you can. Start with your bottom knee bent, and you've already got your strap and extended right leg set up from your first pose that we did. Now we're rolling onto the side for our Anantanasana. So your right hand is holding close to the right foot. The left palm is down. Your head is resting either on your blanket or you can have it on your arm. And then to find your balance, see if you can straighten out your bottom leg. So if you start to wobble, that's all right. You don't have too far to fall. And that's helping you find midline. It's all to help pull you right back into the center. So every time you wobble, you're teaching your body how to go back to midline. And it's really nice when you don't have too far to fall. So just holding it here for a moment. And now you're going to start to bend your left knee. And then you're going to start to let that right leg go down in front of you. Take your blanket. Your left hand's going to be in front of you, palm up. Head's going to be on the blanket. And then you're going to straighten out that, actually keep that left knee bent and extend that right foot all the way down to the floor. Hold on to it with your right hand or the strap. You can take your left hand, hold the strap with your left hand. See if you can take that right foot all the way down to the floor. If not, you might need to prop it, but free up your right hand so that you can keep that right leg long out to the side. Head stays down. When you take an inhale, start to lift your right arm up towards the sky. Fingers are going to go straight up. Elbow is straight, arm is straight. Start to straighten out your left leg. So your left leg goes straight towards the foot end of your mat. As that right arm, right now, my fingers are pointing straight up towards the sky. And this is kind of a variation of what we just did on our back. And then to twist it deeper, see if you can take that right hand, keep going, and let the whole right arm, keep it straight if you can, or bend your elbow so that your right shoulder possibly goes to the floor. It's a pretty deep twist. Try to keep action in your bottom leg. Keep lengthening out through your top leg. Hold on to the strap. If you need to bend your knee, that is fine. Just keep some action in the strap. Now, when you take your next inhale, start to bring your right arm up. Keep it straight. Take it up to where you can see your fingers pointing towards the ceiling. Bend your left knee. And then when you start to bring that right arm down, start to straighten your left leg out. And then you're going to let yourself come into a sideline forward fold. So you can see how close you could pull your chest in towards your thighs. And then go ahead and bend your knees. Take that strap off of your left foot. Go ahead and roll onto your back. Good. So now we will do side 2. So we'll start with that strap. You're going to take your little loop and place it around your left foot this time. So you'll extend that left leg up straight, and then your right leg is going to go out long. So as you extend your right leg long, pull your right toes towards you and reach your right heel so that leg is active, just as if you were standing, and then extending up through the left leg. So feeling again that whole length of your back leg. You can hold on to the strap with your left hand, and then let your right arm go out to the side. So with that left leg straight up, your right arm's out to the side, right foot is lengthening out long. Just take a few moments and feel the energy of the lengthening leg that's down on your mat blanket, and then all that length in the back of your left leg. Be mindful, I know the hamstrings can be tight. Bend your knee if you need to. And then you're going to start to bend your right knee, and then take that right arm. So it's going to go over, it's going to go underneath you, so that that right arm can serve as your pillow. And then the left leg, as you roll onto your right side, your left leg's going to be up in the air, left heel's reaching towards the sky. Still hold on to that little loop with your hand, left hand. So my right palm is down. You can use your blanket for your head if you'd like. And then to start to work with your balance, you can line yourself up with the edge of your mat. That's a good tool just to see how lined up you are. And then start to straighten out your bottom leg. So as you reach out through that bottom leg, that's when you'll find out if you're straight or not. If you start to wobble, then you are nice and straight. Pull those belly muscles up and in. That'll help you stay straight. And then keep wobbling, because that's going to pull you back to midline and keep you from falling just a little bit. Keep that action through that top foot. Good. And now we're going to take that blanket under your head. Let your right arm go out in front of you, palm up so you can see your right hand. You're going to start to bend your right knee, and then let your left foot go down towards your right hand. As you keep that left knee or your right knee bent, you're going to have that left foot in your hands. So you can take the strap, keep it around your foot, but hold on to your foot with your right hand, free up your left hand. When you take an inhale, you're going to start to lift your left hand up, keep your arms straight, and start to extend your right leg out straight. So you're lifting the left arm. Fingers are going to point towards the sky, the ceiling. Extend that right leg out long, and then you can take that deep twist. See if you can take that left shoulder all the way down to the floor, palm up. If it doesn't make it, that's fine. Just try to keep action. You hold on to the strap. Keep lengthening as best you can that bottom leg. Such a deep twist. You're trying to roll those right ribs away from the mat. Not the left ribs are going over towards the left. Now when you inhale, lift up that left arm. Start to point your left fingers towards the sky. Bend your right knee. As you bring that left hand down towards your left foot, line your legs up so both legs are straight. And then bring yourself into your forward fold on your right side this time. So you're pulling in towards your legs. And now take that strap off your left foot. And then we're going to go all the way over onto your stomach, onto your belly. So extend your legs long. You can move that blanket out of the way. And then when you come to belly down, let the tops of your feet come onto your mats. And then stack one hand on top of the other hand and let your forehead rest down on top of your top hand. So just feel your belly as you're breathing in this position, and just feeling your belly rise and fall with a breath. So now just turn your head to the right so that you've got you've got your head resting on the left side. And then when you inhale, pull your left knee up towards your left elbow. You're sliding froggy style. Just open up that left hip as you let that knee slide up on the inhale. And then when you exhale, slide it back down. We're going to stay on this side. Just keep your head turned as you slide that leg up. And then exhale, slide it back down. Do a few more. Change it a little bit. Maybe reach it away from you a little as you do it, just to find some new spots. Just don't go fast. Just kind of feel what moves in different places. Good. And now turn your head the other way. And then you'll do the same thing on the other side. So when you inhale, bend the opposite knee, pull it up towards the elbow. And then when you exhale, extend that leg, slow motion back down long. Just do 3 or 4. Noticing any difference. Does it slide easier or does it have more speed bumps? And then keep both legs long. And now we're going to tuck the toes under. So by that, I mean your toes are going to be on the floor. The backs of your toes are on the floor, tucked underneath so that your heels are over the toes. And then you can extend out through your heels so much that you lift your knees off the mat. So your legs are fairly close together. And then you're going to lift your head, scooch your elbows back so your elbows are under the shoulders, and then hold on to your opposite elbows. So you're coming into a cobra variation. To take any pressure, or if that's too much for your back, take your elbows forward towards the head end of your mat. If you want a deeper back bend, have your elbows right under your shoulders. And then when you're here, keep breathing and have your shoulder blades slide away from your ears. Have the shoulder blades go down the sides of your back, like they're trying to go down towards your heels. And then get another feeling or sense that your navel is trying to come forward and out from underneath you. So you're lifting your navel, but don't overforce or force at all. And then when you come out, relax your legs, let your feet go tops down, and then just let your arms extend forward and let your head turn so that you can belly breathe again. If it's more comfortable to rest your forehead down, do that. And feel anything in your pelvis. So when you're taking a nice big breath, just feel it all the way into probably the top part of your pelvis. Just feel anything, any sensations there. And then we're going to press up and back into child's pose. So take your hands underneath your armpits, place your palms down, pull your elbows in, press yourself up, take your hips back towards your heels and go all the way into child's pose. So feel a nice long spine, forehead down, relax your elbows, nice soft child's pose. And then when you take your next inhale, bring yourself up. So you're coming up through all fours. Have your knees under your hips, hands underneath your shoulders. We'll do a few undulations here. So when you inhale, lift your head, lift your tailbone. Elbows are trying to pull in close to your sides. Exhale, round your spine. Look towards your thighs. So this is what we do on our back when we undulate. Except now we're doing it on hands and knees, just so you can see this orientation of the inhale, your spine is arched. And then when you exhale, you super scoop. Press your hands, and then you scoop those low pelvic muscles. Come back to center. Just to get some energy flowing, we'll do some knees, chest, chins. So have the palms of your hands pressing so that when you come forward a little bit, bend your elbows, keep your rear up, let your chin and chest come down, touch down, slide your legs, little baby cobra, go back down or come up and all the way back into your child's. So go for a couple of those just to get those core muscles moving and the arm muscles stronger as you take it slow and easy. And then after you finish as many as you want, roll over onto your back again. Nice. So on your back, bend your knees so that you've got your feet on your blanket set up and your knees are straight towards the sky. And now we're going to interlace the hands behind the head so that you've got your head cradled in your hands. Make a nice little mattress for your head and keep your elbows soft as we start. So once you get yourself set up like this, feel the midline of your spine. So notice where the base of your skull is resting in your hands, and then just feel all the way down to what's touching the mat, like the mid-spine. Feel where your low spine leaves a little bit away from the mat, and then your pelvis is down. So just appreciating all the curves in your spine. So when we undulate, doing pretty much the same thing like we did on all fours, except it looks more like an old-fashioned sit-up when we do it this way. But inhale, lift your chin, arch your back, press your elbows down. Exhale, round your spine like cat pose, and lift your head off the mat. Elbows come close. And then slow motion, inhale, take it down. Lift your chin, press your elbows up. Exhale, coming back up. So this is the movement. Just keep going nice and slow. When you inhale, that's when you arch your back and look behind you, lift your chin. When you exhale, so that you feel the muscles in your low pelvis engage. Do 2 more. After you finish that last one, you're going to take your hands out from underneath your head, and we're going to bring your feet up off the mat and cross your legs at the mid calf area. So below the knees, between your knees and ankles, we're going to cross the legs into our Sukhasana. So once you get your legs crossed, we're going to lift the head up. So you could see if you could take your right hand, hold your left foot, take your left hand, hold your right foot, and then try to take your head back down. If that doesn't work, you could use your strap, or I think it's easier for me to take your hands to the tops of your shins as you come into this shape. So we want to have the feet somewhat lined up with the knees, so they're out pretty far to the sides. Bend your elbows out to the sides. Let your tailbone go towards your mat setup. Take an inhale, and then when you exhale, just start to bring your legs in a little closer towards your belly. So pause here, but do keep breathing. So pressing your feet into your hands and letting your hands press into your feet. So you've got that action between the feet and the hands to give you some movement in your hips. And then soften that up. Let your legs go a little straighter. Whichever leg's underneath, switch it so it's on top, and then switch your hands. So you've got the opposite foot in your hands, lift up a little bit, and then when you bend your elbows, you'll come back down just with the other leg in front. So your elbows are out to the sides again. Take an inhale, let your pelvis go down towards the mat. And then when you exhale, you're going to bring your legs in closer towards your chest and belly. And then find that engagement between your feet and hands, like you're trying to press your hands and pull your feet. And then from here, go ahead and let your legs start to go back up. Bend, uncross them, bend your knees, let your feet come down to the mat. Bring your arms into a T shape with your palms facing up, and then separate your feet as wide as your mat, but your feet are still on the mat with your knees pointing up. And then let both of your knees drop over to the left and look to the right. Just take a few breaths in this twist. And then you'll bring your legs back up through the middle and drop them over to the right. Look to your left. Just feeling yourself coming again back into stillness. Come back into the center. And then start to bring your feet up off of your mat and bring your legs together, and then bring your arms around your legs. So you've got your hands around your legs, and then just rock a little bit from side to side. So you've got yourself still on your back, rocking a little bit from side to side. Good. And then we're going to roll to the side. So you can roll to your right side. Press yourself up to have a seat. And then we'll be doing Sukhasana seated as our final pose together. So folding your blanket back into a rectangle for you to sit on. So once you've got that blanket folded, you can go ahead and have a seat on your blanket. And so we just did this shape on our back. And now we'll do it seated. So it's not your typical crisscross applesauce. You'll take your right foot over to the left and away from your hip. So you're not going to bring your heel in. You're going to bring your heel away from your hip. So it's kind of in line with your right knee. And then take your left foot in front of your right knee. So your left foot's in front of your right knee, and your right foot ends up kind of underneath your left knee. So then when you look at your feet, the pinky toe sides of your feet are down, and then the big toe sides are facing up. And when you look down, you can see a little triangle in your legs. So sit up nice and tall. Hands nice and soft on your thighs. See if you feel this maybe a little more in your right hip than your left. And then we can add a little forward fold. So if you're real bendy and you're able to, you could take your chest all the way down towards your shins. Otherwise, let your gaze be just in front of your forward leg and come down towards your thighs, but let your shoulders be back. Try to keep your elbows in. That'll help keep your shoulders back. You'll notice your hips one tighter than the other, maybe. And then when you inhale, bring it back up. Super slow-mo. Take your right hand, grab that right foot, just pull it out from behind your left knee and place it in front of your left knee. Foot's on the floor in front of your left knee. Release it with your hand and then come into the same shape. Just have your right foot in front of your left knee. Left foot's underneath your right knee. So sitting up nice and tall. See if you feel both sit bones even underneath you. Then start to hinge forward. Keep your spine long. Keep your breath nice and even. If you find yourself holding your breath, pull back a little bit. Don't go too far forward. So see if you feel it more in your left hip, maybe on this side. Typically the side with the foot closest gets the most stretch. But if you've got a really tight hip, both of them are going to feel it. Inhale, bring it back up. Nice and easy. You can go ahead and let those legs go out straight. Shake them a little bit. And then you can take whatever shape you'd like for a final Shavasana. If that suits you to do a Shava, I would recommend it. So this is our practice using sensory awareness. So when you hear that, what that means is just like keeping your senses tuned in to what you're feeling in your body while you're moving. So therapeutic, so wonderful, great way to move. Highly recommend it. It's good for everybody. So thank you so much for joining me. And I will be doing another one of these again, hopefully soon. Thank you.